Alright, dear children of class 11 science, we moved again to the next topic related to radiation. As I said earlier, this is actually a theory which was proposed by Prevost, and this theory is called theory of exchange. So this theory of exchange is actually for radiation. Actually for what? Radiation. And in the last YouTube video, you learned what is radiation, okay, and on. Okay. Now, for theory of exchange was proposed by Prevost. So this is one of the scientists who proposed this theory, and he said that all bodies that present in the universe is not only sun, not only what? Sun. All bodies emit and absorb heat radiation at all temperature. All what? Temperature. So I just write it down the point. All bodies, okay, present in the universe, present in the what? Universe, okay, emits, okay, and emits and absorbs radiation, emits and what? Absorb radiation at all temperature. At what? All temperature. It's not necessary that only the sun can emit radiation, okay, to the earth. Okay, now earth has absorbed the radiation, but earth also emits what? Radiation. Like not only earth, like other bodies, like any body, like this pen or this page, okay, this anything, that means whatever body or whatever size it may be, okay, can also emit radiation and absorb some amount of radiation. But only thing is that the amount of emitted or absorbed radiation depends upon the temperature. Depend upon the what? Temperature and the materials. That's why remember this point. The amount of emitted and absorbed radiation, emitted or absorbed radiation depends on what? Depends on, number one, temperature. It depends on temperature of that body, and this temperature of body with respect to the surrounding, and also depend upon the material. Yes. So this is one of the theory which was proposed by Prevost. So from here we understand that it's not only one body can only emit radiation. Means all bodies present in the universe emit radiation also and absorb radiation, and that happens if not at particular temperature, it can happen at all temperature. What temperature? All temperature. This is number one. The number 2 point, let me just add, that is all bodies, okay, all bodies absorbs heat radiation. All bodies absorb heat radiation falling on it at all temperature. At what? Sorry, this is at all temperature. So this is another point that you need to keep in mind, that is all bodies what? Absorbs heat radiation that is falling on it at all temperature. Means a body, when a heat radiation fall on a body at any temperature, that body absorb the heat radiation. But the amount of absorption of heat radiation depends upon the materials of the body and the temperature of that body with respect to the surrounding. That is also very important. Okay, so this is a theory of exchange which was proposed by Prevost, and this is exactly true. And this is actually for the radiation. Okay, this is for the what? Radiation. Now to explain in detail about this theory which was proposed by Prevost, let me just take the consideration. Like consideration means, for example, okay, let me just take the example that suppose if the temperature, if the what? The temperature of the surrounding, temperature of the what? Surrounding is greater than, temperature of surrounding is greater than the body temperature. Okay, so in this case what happened? The body absorb more heat than emission. So body absorb more amount of heat than what? Emission. That means in this case what happened? The absorption rate, the absorption what? Rate will be higher than, is higher than what? Higher than emission rate. Yes, this is true. Why? Because if a body has a temperature of the body is less than the surrounding temperature, then definitely that heat will simply flow from that surrounding to the body, and that heat is absorbed by the body. So when the heat energy is absorbed by the body, so temperature of that body rises. But this absorption of this heat energy by that body will be more than the emission of the heat energy by that body. So from that body, the emission also takes place. But this emission rate is less compared to absorption rate. Means more absorption of the heat energy takes place as compared to what? Emission of the heat energy by the body. Okay. So when absorption rate is higher than the emission rate, then what happened? The temperature. Okay. So this part you need to keep in mind. The temperature of the body. Temperature of the what? Body increases. Temperature of the body what? Increases. So when the temperature of the body increases, when the temperature of the surrounding is greater than the body temperature. So in this case what happened? Absorption rate is higher than the emission rate. So no doubt that means absorption is taking place, but at the same time emission also takes place. But this absorption rate will be more than the emission rate. So when absorption takes place, the more amount of heat energy absorbed means definitely the temperature of body increases or increases. Okay, so this is the first part as we can understand from this theory of actions. Now the second process or reverse process can also happen. Now, if the temperature of a body is higher than the temperature of its surrounding, so in this case what happened? The emission rate, let me just tell you that the emission rate is greater than what? Absorption rate. The emission rate is greater than absorption rate. That means that body emit more heat energy than the absorption of heat energy from the surrounding. So when a body emit more heat energy, okay, to the surrounding, okay, emit more heat energy to the surrounding than the absorption of heat energy from the surrounding, then definitely what happened? The temperature of that body decreases or it falls. So under this case what happened? The temperature, okay, the temperature of the body falls. So when the temperature of body falls, when the body temperature is higher than the what? Surrounding. So in that case what happened? That body emits more heat energy than the absorption of heat energy from the surrounding. So this is another way. And lastly children, it can be the case where the body temperature will be exactly equal to the temperature of the surrounding, which means when the temperature of a body is equal to the temperature of its surrounding. So in that case what happened? The rate of energy emission and absorption become equal. That means if the body temperature exactly matches with the what? Temperature of the what? Surrounding, in that case the body absorbs energy from the surrounding, but at the same time body also emit energy to the surrounding. Okay, but this emission rate and absorption rate of energy between the body and the surrounding will exactly what? Equal. Okay, exactly what? Equal. So these are the three different cases that we can see as per the theory of action is concerned. Okay, and this theory of actions and the absorption and emission of energy between the body and the surrounding is completely for the radiation. Now children, we go to the next topic, that is the terms related to what? This radiation, and that you learn in details in the next YouTube video.